Hey, what's going on? And welcome to another Brownish Live. Happy Monday, everybody. Hopefully,
Yeah.
everybody's doing great. As always, I got my lovely and very talented co-host, Sasha Merci. How you doing, girl?
I'm doing good. I'm breaking out a lot, but besides that, I'm doing good.
I will get into that. We've got a very special guest today, one of the stars of Netflix's Gentefied. Let's hear it for Julissa Calderon.
What up?
How you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing all right. I put on perfume, y'all, just for you guys.
Oh, so you can smell it through the video.
I smell
Yeah,
it.
I could feel like I was doing something.
Yeah.
Where are you at currently? Are you in LA or are you back home?
No, I'm in LA. I started the quarantine in Miami. I was out there when it happened, and then I was like, maybe I should stay just in case shit gets real. Then I got a lot of goons with me, so I'm good.
Yeah, right.
And then I saw nothing was happening. It was like people were just fighting over toilet paper. So I was like, oh, I can make my way back to LA. And I did.
You were like, I don't need goons for toilet paper. I'm good.
No. I was like, oh, I can handle this. I got this. But at first, nobody knew what was going on. And like, I didn't want to come back to, I live alone. So I didn't want to come back to like an empty house and me being alone and shit is going crazy. And the purge is happening outside or Walking Dead or something.
Right.
It's interesting, right? Because as this is happening, the first thing that you're thinking about is like, I want to be with my family. And then when you realize you're going to be closed off from the world at home with your family members, you're like, nah, I think I'm gonna be by myself because I'm
Yeah, that was exact. Well, it wasn't exact. That wasn't my exact thoughts. Just in case mommy's listening. All that. Because my mom the whole time was like, "You're gonna leave for real? ¿Y tú te vas a ir de verdad, Julissa?" No te vayas. Like she was like, "Why are you leaving?" And I haven't lived with my brothers and my mom for like years. Yeah. So it was 5 of us in the house, and it was cool. Mommy was cooking every day. It was awesome. There was a lot of energy. But I also was like, I'm a loner. I'm usually home unless I'm out somewhere doing something for an event. If not, I'm usually home by myself. So not having that was kind of just like, also the fact that I didn't go over there to stay. I wasn't like mentally prepared. I was just like there for 4 days, and here I am 3 weeks later, and I was like, oh, am I ever going back?
That's how I feel. My family, they were like, Sasha, you need to come back. And I'm just like, I don't know. Right now, New York is the epicenter of this place.
I wouldn't go back. Yeah,
I can't go back right now. I don't want
to. My family lives back east, and I know when I go visit them the holidays, it's always that like, oh, I missed them. I can't wait to see them. And then 2 days later, I'm like, yeah, when am I going home?
Yeah, it's like that. I think it's just because we're used to like what we're already used to, not because of them. Just because you already have your program, you already have how you move, where you live, your stuff. Like I told my mom, I was like, Mommy, I don't even have a panty drawer here. Like, if I don't have a panty drawer, I gotta go home. I can't be here for 2-3 months with no panties. Like, what's going on?
I feel you. That's how I am with my bras too. I'm like, yo, I need to make sure because everybody in my family, I'm the one with the biggest bra size.
You got titties. I don't got no titties. I don't have a bra.
I'm gonna see myself out of this combo. I'm gonna step over here.
I know. But there's so many things, and as creators, we already have this thing where we have to rehearse all the time on our own. So I don't want to be rehearsing something or trying to work on my speech, and I'm doing this alone, and my aunt be like, ¿Con qué tú hablas? Contigo mucho así. Tú estás bien, you know?
Also, you do not want to be, at least, I mean, and I love New York. My family comes from New York. I grew up in Miami, but I feel like New York right now is just not the place to be. Like, it's just, unfortunately, it's so sad, but it's really not. Everybody is such in a close, like, radius to each other, and there's so many people in one building. It's just not, unless you're like living in the Lower East Side or some damn, in a penthouse, it's very hard to live there right now.
Everybody's coughing on each other.
Everybody and sneezing and shit.
So now, how do you find that? How's everything been for you in quarantine, locked off from the world? Because for a while you were out and about. You guys were doing press for Gentefied. You were everywhere. Every time I look, I'm like, yo, she's in DC. Oh, she's in Miami. She's here.
Yeah.
So now it's gone from traveling and being everywhere to just boom.
A halt. Yeah, no, it's weird. It was like, you know, when you on the road. I never got stuck in a roller coaster, but I think that's how it feels. Like, just going, you up, you riding, you doing all these circles, and then you're finally getting to go to the top, and it's so good, and you're excited for that drop, and you're stuck. And then the conductor is like, sorry, everyone, it's gonna take a few more minutes. And you up there like, what the fuck? I feel like that's kind of what it feels like right now. It's on a halt, but I'm cool, man. Like, I also understand everything happens for a reason. That's like my life motto.
Yeah.
Right. And for whatever reason, it's like this is a little reset button for everyone to be on pause, for everyone to get their shit together. So because we were a mess. We were a hot ass mess. This world.
Yeah. I think from the outside looking in for you, it feels like you yourself, you feel like you're in a halt. But for us, you held a lot of cultural, you hold a lot of cultural stuff on you because you did an amazing part in Gentefied. Yeah. So everyone is just like, look at my girl, Julissa, look at, you know what I'm saying? So you hold a lot of cultural weight. And so right now for you, maybe that's how you feel, but people still watching it, people still talking about Gentefied, and people really talking about your work. So
people are locked down right now. They got no excuse not to watch.
Yeah. I'm getting so much feedback, and I love it. Like I understand, you know, for us, like, yeah, you're probably absolutely right. I'm not moving right now, so I'm like, what's going on? But this also, this hasn't even been 2 months since it's come out.
Right.
So I'm just so thankful that we got to do a press run, that we got to see so many fans, that we got to interact with people. We just saw you guys recently. Like, I think that's just, it's cool. You got to take the good and the bad and just see the silver linings in this shit.
Right.
The only bad part is I gained 9 pounds so far.
Who hasn't, girl?
I already got a fat face, so you know I gotta watch my angles right here. I've been watching, making sure you don't see my double chin. I'm like, hold on.
I go in ups and downs. There's times I'm like eating everything. There's times I'm like I need to get it back together because the last thing I want to do is once this opens up, go in for an audition for an Eric Rivera type. They look at me like we want a slimmer Eric Rivera. Like, but I'm him.
Be like, this is what you get. I know. I've been cooking. I've been baking. I don't even bake. I'm like, what is going on? What is
That's good. That's good to learn how to bake, girl. What you baking?
I bake a banana bread from ripe bananas.
From scratch.
I know. That's why I'm like, that's weird. It wasn't even like already in the packet. You just add water. It wasn't even that. It was like, take the bananas, mash them, put some eggs, some flour. Like, it was like that. So that was cool. I was like, okay, it took my time up. I made some cornbread, some corn muffins, just a lot of shit. And I take pictures of all of it. I don't post all of it because I don't want people to be like, damn, bitch, you a big girl.
No, don't think that. What I'm going to be like is like, I have to go to her house after quarantine. Like, we're going to eat in Julissa's house.
Right.
I've been cooking today. I'm making a pastelón. If you guys know what that is,
girl, just a little pastelón.
I'm about to make that today. I am just, it's getting ridiculous. I think it's like, I don't know if it's because I usually am like a person that I have something to do always. Like something, I'm doing something. I'm a Capricorn too, so I'm real anal on shit. So I'm like,
that's good.
I have my planner right here, right? Every time I got it written down, like brownish, 2 o'clock, just because like I don't got nothing in here. And I'm like, any little thing, I'm like, this is so exciting.
That's how I feel too.
So cooking has like consumed my time so far.
Okay. Now, going back to Sasha's point about the cultural weight that you and Gentefied have, you guys are opening doors. You realize, like, there's a reason now all these shows are coming out. Like, ABC's Baking the Beauty. There's another show on ABC coming out, United We Fall. The Selena thing's coming out on Netflix. Like, are you guys seeing this? And I'm not saying like patting yourselves on the back, but realizing the weight that can't, like, you guys doing the show, doing an amazing show, and knowing that now we're starting to see more opportunities pop up because of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't got no part in that, and the fact that I just showed the.
But you were part of it. You get don't downplay it.
This was already created. This was something that Marvin and Linda create. Like this is their baby, and like we've been waiting for something like this for a long time. And shout out to Victor Asuk, who's on Beauty and the Baker. What is it?
Baker and the Beauty.
Baker and the Beauty. Yeah. Shout out to my week guys. But yeah, no, I think it's super dope. But honestly, you could feel in the beginning of this, even before we even taped it, before like anything, when I read it, I was like, oh, this is fire. Like this is something that we haven't seen yet. This is exciting. And it ended up being exactly what we thought it was. Like I remember we got like a preview. We got the first 3 episodes before it came out, and we saw episode 1 and we were like, okay, cool. And then we all saw episode 2. We were like together, and then we saw episode 2 and we were like, cool. It's cool. And when we saw episode 3, we were like looking at each other. And when episode 4 came, we were like, yo, we got a hit. This shit good.
That's good.
Like, it's one of those shows, and I hate to compare it to this because there's nothing like it. But Insecure has done something to the Black young community, right? Like our age, where people are like, yo, this is my life. Like I can relate. I understand those conversations. I've been there. I've done that. I think Gentefied does that for us, right? It's not just this one-dimensional show. It's not like conversations or words that we don't use in our life, you know? So right. I think that's like the coolest part about it, that you could actually relate to it. That is like, you see your peoples in it. It's like, oh, that's my cousin, whatever. That's my cousin, this person. Like, it feels like that. And I think it's so cool. I'm just blessed and happy to be a part of it.
Okay. Now, how do we feel about, because I saw this article and I sent it to Sasha. There was a show sold last week to Stars.
Oh, what's that?
It was based on a book called The Madonnas of Echo Park, Latino writer. They sold the show, Jewish producer, Asian woman director, white woman writing it. Now, for me, if I'm gonna be honest, I think it's Hollywood trying to hit a demographic but being tone deaf about when you don't have Latin creators behind the scenes, you miss the mark because they don't know how to tell our stories. They don't know the struggles we go through.
Right.
So do you see it as good for you, Hollywood trying, or do you look at it like, come on, what are we doing here?
You try to get me out of all the parts. Huh?
I know. I'm not trying to.
I don't want you to work again. Now, I speak my mind, so it's cool. I honestly think that the reason Gentefied is doing so well and has done so well and it came out to be such a dope show is because of all of the people of color in the room.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like exactly what you said. You can't make something, you can't be a Dominican making Dominican content online and you ain't Dominican. It don't make sense, right? Same for all of these things. The reason it was so dope is because we have all these people of color that resonate with the story. The people behind the scenes all resonate with the story. Like our showrunner wasn't an example. Our showrunner wasn't a Latina, but our showrunner was a woman of color who was a first generation Korean woman, Korean and Black. Her dad is Black. Her mom is Korean. First generation though, she could relate to the first generation part, but also she was a woman and of color. She was like all over the place. But one thing she did understand was this story is a Latino story. I gotta understand it from the first generation. So if they do it like that, where they come up with like, okay, well, I relate to this story like this and like this, which we probably know they won't. Right. But like, I think that's a way to kind of get in to make it as good as it gets. But if it's like a white woman writing it, I hope she has like writers under her, staff writers who are Latinos and people of color, because that don't make no sense. I hate when white people try to write our shit. That's what pisses me off. You could be anybody else but white.
Yeah. Right. No, because they're like, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I get mad when I see stuff like that because there is no uproar from our community. Like if, let's say 12 Years a Slave came out and you found out it was a white writer, white director, there'd be protests. They would burn Hollywood down. Like, we're not allowing this. But when it comes to Latin projects, these things happen, and there's no magnifying glass on it, and nobody says anything.
And for a very long time, I feel like Hollywood has been overlooking the Latino content for a very long time because they're like, you look like you're black or you look like you're white, just pick a side. But it's like there's a whole culture that we're not expressing. And it's almost like you had to be Hispanic or Latino in closed doors, right? Because it's like outside you have to choose. You're either white or you're black. And you are both, I am black and I am Latina. The culture that I identify with is the African American culture and the Dominican culture. That's it. And the Latino culture, right? And for a very long time, you see Hollywood overlooking these stories. And like you said, I feel like this is Hollywood's attempt to be like, oh, like we're understanding. Now we're going to do stuff. And it's so interesting how before they will overlook it, but they're always going to do that, right? When they're very desperate, especially when something is a hit show, right? They want to create something that's exactly the same. And it's like, no, you have to go to the root of what makes everything different. It's like you think about these delicacies. You go to these restaurants, you pay hundreds of dollars for something that I would say like a delicacy, like maybe like let me think about it, like or whatever, caviar or whatever. But it's things that people ate when they were poor.
Oh, the people ain't. Actually, yeah.
Take these things, and then they'll be like, "Oh yes, I made a little hint of this because when I went to Brazil and I went to the slums or whatever, I got to see what the people ate, and so me as a culinary chef, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna do my own twist to it." And it's just like it's not gonna be authentic unless the people make it and the people create it, and you listen to the people and say, "Okay, we're gonna listen to you. We understand that there's millions of people like you. We're going to let you pave the way." So for white people, I always say this, white executives, if you want to secure your bag, secure our culture.
I like that. Yes.
How is that not on a pillow?
Yeah, girl, pin that. Tweet it and then pin it, girl. So I think that's real as shit. Like that's like perfect. That's like a perfect line because it's the truth. I think what you were saying, Eric, like in the sense of like we don't be coming at them like what are y'all doing? Is because we're so in drought that any little drop we'd be like, oh yeah, we love it. And it's like, no, like that's not it. That don't work like that. But I think that we as a collective, and I've said this so many times, why the Black community is light years ahead of the Latino community is because they stick together.
Right.
We can't do that shit. We be so like, but you're Mexican, but you're this, but you're this. We be so quick to do that it takes away everything. Like we can't come together. Like to say, yo, this is wrong. We need to do this together. We got to do this. Like Gentefied at the end of the day is breaking like barriers in the sense of when the hell have you seen a Dominican girl in a Mexican show?
Girl, that's what I'm saying.
It's just not a thing. And they have opened up that door to be like, wait a second, but she's still speaking Spanish, and are they not communicating?
Right.
It's that. So it's us first coming together so that we can collectively come as a voice and a voice of reason as one to be like, no, this is wrong, and also for us to stop being so damn thirsty. Like I honestly could say that if I seen the script of Gentefied and I thought it was like not it, and it was some stereotypical bullshit on who we are, I don't care about the role if it's not like true. Like I'm just one of those people. I can't do it. But you also won't see like I don't think that we will get real actors and stuff like the movie, whatever show you talk about that Stars is gonna have.
Right.
Like the effect that Gentefied has is because people in the shit are real.
Right.
Inside the show and outside the show. And that's just who we are. Like we literally are a family because we keep it like we honest. Like we talk our shit and we're true to who we are as human beings for our culture and who we identify as. Most of these times when you're watching these shows, it's like the Latina, I hate to say it, that is like learning her culture now, and it's like I love it. I love being Latina. I love being Latina. And you're like, okay, girl. Like I hate that. I know somebody who is now a head of a channel somewhere, and she hardly speaks any Spanish, and it's not because she wasn't taught that.
Uh-huh.
Her parents are actually immigrants. She decided she didn't want to speak Spanish because she was embarrassed of it. And embarrassed because her mom was a cleaning lady and all of that shit. And it's like, but now you run a channel that's mad Latin and you're like, I'm a Latina. And she's white passing and you're like, really? Like, I don't know if I'm okay with this. I understand that you're now understanding your roots and that's cool to embrace it. But why would we pick you to run this when you just started to embrace us? We've been here.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
I don't trust anybody that hits that hard T on Latino or Latina.
Yeah.
That's it.
Latino.
Latino.
I remember when they tried to put like Carmen Diaz in the Latina magazine, they said like the highest paid Latina was Carmen Diaz. But I'm like, she never speaks Spanish. She never embraces whatever. I think her grandfather was Costa Rican or something. And they try to put her on this list. I'm like, at that time, the only person I knew was Jennifer Lopez that was super famous. Because when was it? Like I was probably like my late teens and stuff. I'm like, Carmen Diaz.
Who that is?
You're talking about that Mary girl with the stuff
in her. I'm gonna switch gears here because something happened to me last week. I don't know if you know this, Julissa. Sasha here believes in ghosts. Where do you stand on this?
I live alone. Don't be trying to talk to me about things. I be getting nervous.
I personally don't. Right.
I'm listening.
I personally don't believe in ghosts, and the only reason I bring this up. So last week, my 3-year-old, because I got 2 kids, 7 and 3. Right? Oh, she.
Don't let me grab my shit. It's right there. I'll start doing it. Hold on, I'm gonna do it with you, girl.
I don't believe in ghosts, but Sasha told me a story about how she believes in ghosts. I was like, that's just not my thing. So last week, our 3-year-old woke up in the middle of the night crying. He had a bad dream, but then he tells my wife the next day, I got scared because I saw the boy with the bones. He's 3, so he got no reason to make things up.
Boy with the bones.
Boy with the bones. And my wife posted it, and she got a bunch of comments and messages like, oh, my daughter used to get up because she said the little boy was trying to play with her. And anytime you see a scary movie, it's always some weird little kid just...
A little white boy.
Oh, my wow. Oh.
It's always some really dressed up little white boy in a suit. Anytime I see a little creepy white boy in a suit with a tie, I'm like, nope.
White
girl. Yeah. Long hair covering her face. That up for me.
Yeah, her mom puts in those pajamas, the long pajamas for no reason.
So what was the conclusion?
The conclusion was we might have to get rid of our 3-year-old if he keeps seeing the little boy with the bone.
I was telling Eric, I was like, I didn't know how old he was when he told me the story. He was like, yo, my son, he's seeing these ghosts. Like, and so I was like, when I was like 7 or 8 years old, I was making up stories about seeing ghosts, but it wasn't until I actually came in contact with a ghost later on in my life that I was like, oh, no, they real. I should never made stories up.
I've never seen one and I don't want to, Lord. I really don't. So if you're hearing me.
No, you won't.
I don't want to, but I do believe there has to be, right? I truly do believe in that there has to be. And then you just got to decipher if it's a good one or a bad one.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why I don't believe. Anytime anybody sees one, it's always some old-timey, dressed in Civil War outfit, just old-timey, like, yeah, oh, I lived here in the 1400s. No one ever sees... You want
a face that's throwing it back?
No, but I'm saying no one ever sees like a modern day ghost. And people pass away all the time. Like you never see a dude dressed in Nike gear just standing there like, oh, I died 5 years ago. Oh, okay.
It's not so much about seeing a ghost. It's about feeling a ghost. This is all right. For example, one of my cousins, she had a story that she's sitting on her bed and she's never had an encounter with a ghost before in her life. Uh-huh. And at her bed, someone sits in it. So you can see the weight of somebody sitting on her bed. And she sat there and she goes, please leave me alone. I don't have any purpose for you. And then the ghost like got up and went and left.
Wow, that was very mature of her because
you're like,
oh
my God. So That happened in my friend's house in Georgia, where I was sleeping. Me and my friend were arguing, whatever. So I slept in this room that nobody in her family slept in. I should have taken that as a clue. So I slept in the bed, and all
why are they still in this house? If they know something, why in their house?
Because it's just the room. It's just the room, so they don't go.
Well, the mortgage is mad cheap. We could just boil it off.
It's a cheap house. So I'm sitting there or whatever, and I'm laying down. I hear my name by the door. It's like Sasha. And I'm like, yo, I won this argument. And then all I feel is this weight on me, like a body, like a whole body on me. And I'm like, yo, get the fuck off of me. And I look back, nobody was there. I looked under the bed, I looked everywhere, nobody was there. True story. And I went back to the room, and my friend was knocked out. That I slept in the edge of the corner of the bed, because I'm like, like, this is shit real. And so the next day, they were like, you really slept in that room? And I said, yeah. Why? They asked me questions about the room. I said, yeah. They were like, you slept fine? I said, yeah. And they're like, okay. And then we just went on our day. And then later on, I was like, all right, I got a confession. I felt something on my back. And they were like, no, I fucking knew it. They were like, that's why nobody sleeps there. And I'm like, y'all need to burn this house.
Yeah, why the fuck do they live there? Like, I'm just not going to use that room.
That's like every scary movie. I never feel bad for those people that buy that house. Like, listen, 100 people died in here. Oh, okay, but how much is it?
There was a massacre in 1991.
Yeah.
It's 20 years later. No, I don't know. I've never came in with an encounter. I don't want to. I don't care to. I also don't think about these things. I don't even watch scary movies, y'all, because I'm just not into it.
I like scary movies if I'm cuddling with someone. I'll be like, oh, let's watch a scary movie. And then I'll just bury my head on their chest and be like,
because you're not watching the movie. You want that connection. I think you've been social distancing too much.
Let's spray his ass first.
Yeah, Lysol.
I just can't because I live alone. So even if my mind is weird as hell. I'll be in bed. Even if I do watch it with somebody, I know eventually I'm gonna have to be by myself. And then I'm think about that shit. Even to the point that I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people that like washes their face really fast in the shower, like.
I can't even drink coffee because it's getting me paranoid. Like I can't drink.
Julissa just, you ain't gonna murder me.
Yo, I'll be making sure. I think it's my brothers. My brothers, we dead ass used to scare each other so much that I think that it's like just in my head.
You know what you need to do so you can keep your eyes open while you wash your face? Goggles. I'd change your whole life.
This part. I say whoever come in this bitch, be ready. I'm ready.
All right, here's another news story I saw this week for the quarantine. There's an Ohio teen, because everybody's getting their stimulus checks, getting excited, spending the money. There's an Ohio teen accidentally got a $5 million stimulus check.
I saw that.
And what I love about him, though, is he saw it and he notified the authorities right away. Like, oh, I got to give it back. We all know people that wouldn't have notified anybody.
Nobody. I mean, I definitely would have left it in my bank account. I would have never notified anybody, but I would have never spent it either. I would have just watched that shit.
Just to see what happens.
Just to see what's going on. But I definitely, because I have heard of someone getting money in their bank account. This was before all of this. And it was by mistake, an error, and they started using that money. And guess what? Then that shit reversed, and it was taken out of their account. Mm-hmm. But that teen is stupid. They was white, huh?
Oh, yeah, of course. they call right away, excuse me, you made an error.
We have an error here. That's not funny. You have an error here.
I want to help you guys out in the situation.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything. I would do exactly what you said, Julissa. I'll look at the $5 million. I'm like, what is going to happen next?
I would be screenshotting it and sending it to my exes and people that told me I wasn't going to amount to nothing. What's up?
I'll just like order Seamless through it. Yeah, I'll order like Seamless through it, like little things that you like. Why am I spending money on this?
Yeah.
And all that comes to stuff.
Isn't this the second time? This is the second time I hear about something like this.
Yeah, they did. One guy got a lot more. I think he almost got like 10 mil.
Yes, 8 point something million. So clearly this is happening.
Yeah.
So how many of the third person to shut the fuck up?
Right.
I could not be that lucky. You know what I'm saying? Like, why? Because at that time, that's a blessing. You know, it's like I'm taking it as a blessing de Dios. So I'm gonna hold that money with my life.
All right, so here's the question. Let's say you accidentally get the 5 mil. You watch it. You're not gonna notify nobody, but you're not gonna say, you watch it. A couple months go by, you realize it's there to stay. What's the first thing you buy?
A Lamborghini. No, I'm joking. I don't even like
a house.
Sasha don't even got a license. She just got to sit in it.
She got a Lamborghini. Ella está como Cardi. Like, Dad, can you drive this for me? Drive it.
No.
But I'm pushing this Porsche, y'all.
Sasha's going to be doing lives from the Lamborghini. What's up, everybody? How are you?
Just bought this car
car that I can't drive. I would probably buy a house because I've been dying to buy a house. I was actually house hunting before all this shit happened.
Oh, somebody being on the day.
We're sad about all of this happening, and now I don't know what's going on. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to wait a little bit, make sure everything's good in the world before I even think of trying to buy a house. I'll probably buy a house. My mom needs a new car too. I'll buy a new car. Buy myself a new car. I'll definitely be real black as fuck with it if you guys have seen the show. And buy myself a nice ass whip. I don't give a fuck about these like Priuses that the white people be like buying and then, hey, come over, serving your money. Okay, well, I don't give a fuck. I worked hard for this. I want it. Even if it was a mistake in my check. I've worked hard. That's reparation.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What about you, Sasha? What you buying?
Wait. Oh, God.
I said, Sasha, what are you buying? Where'd she go? Sasha, you hear me?
Okay. Oh, when I buy, I'm sorry. I'm buying nothing. No, I'm gonna definitely just try to buy a house, buy a condo in New York.
Oh,
I'm gonna go back to New York. That's where I'm going.
All 5 million are leaving right there in that one
right
time.
there. Ahí mismo, los 5 mil, ahí mismo. 5 millones. And then maybe just have a little crib here. But I think that the first thing that I'm gonna do is just try to do like build a school for kids that are artistic and they don't necessarily have an outlet to be artistic and all that stuff. Because growing up in the Bronx and stuff, it was like they'll have these extracurricular activities, but they're not teaching you anything that's gonna make you better. They're like just sing. You know how people TikTok and they TikTok horribly and they dance. They'll teach you how to dance like that and then do a whole show like that.
That's hilarious.
It's just like, yeah, you're doing your best, and everyone's like this. And you're acting, and people that are getting the lead roles to act are like, and so
yeah,
I must.
That's real. That's real.
That's not real. Like,
I would love to go to your school. What's your schedule? I got TikTok 101, intermediate acting, and then I got IG filters. You taking IG filters?
Yeah,
I say that all the time. I say I would definitely love to. I want to make a school, but in Dominican Republic, I think that they absolutely an art school. Just because we don't, it's true, we do not get that. These kids be having piano and all these different things like sound, voice coaching, and you're like, wow,
yeah.
We didn't even think it was like 40 of us in chorus class. All right, this section, sing it.
Yeah. And another thing is like in DR, all we learn is how to roast each other. That's all you know is how to be funny. And there's nothing else. Like my aunt was talking to me about it. She's 60 years old right now. She's like, growing up, I didn't really see I saw a lot of funny people, but I didn't really see like great actors like come from Dominican Republic. If anything, they lived in Mexico and then they became like big actors and stuff like that. But and I remember they asked me one time when we were filming De Lo Mío in Dominican Republic, this guy from this white kid, he was like, how do you guys roast in DR? I'm like, oh, that's our every sentence. Like,
If you're not roasting, you're playing baseball. You're learning how to play baseball with a stick and rocks.
I love that you gave the guy the same voice we gave the stimulus check. Excuse me, what's roasting? What is this roast?
It's a roast.
All right, before we let you go, we're gonna play a fun little game. It's called Never Have I Ever, but we're doing quarantine edition. We're doing quarantine edition. For example, never have I ever eaten food off the floor since coronavirus has hit. Before, I was doing 5-second rule. I'd be like, oh, whatever. Thank you. Now, something hits the floor, I'm like, not eating that no more.
Not even in my house. Not even if it's clean. I'll be disinfecting the disinfectant bottle. I get like Purell. After I wipe Purell, I get the Purell and I put it over the bottle, like making sure. It's ridiculous. Like how
you got Purell? You got Purell?
Huh?
I don't even got. I only got like a little bit left, man. It's so hard to find and get.
I got my brother. When I was in Miami, he had
I got Purell. I got Lysol spray. I got wet wipes. I got it all.
So you not okay? So never have you ever?
Not since the corona. Nope.
Okay.
No.
And it's my house. Exactly like you said. I trust my house. I still look at it like, ugh.
Not happening.
All right. Never have I ever eaten expired food.
Oh, I have.
What, during corona? I've gotten close. I'm like, what's today? The 19th? It's the 20th.
Yeah,
18th? It's all right.
I got these macadamia nut cookies that was expired like a few weeks ago, and I'm like, so what? They don't tell me that this is already done. Like, okay, you can't eat it no more.
I was literally thinking like that. I'm like, if it was literally the end of the world and people were scavenging for food, this will be a gem. I'm gonna eat it, like I really thought. Like,
if I went right now to Dominican Republic and gave it to them, they will bake it. That shit'll be good as fuck. And guess what? They'll live 50 years longer than me anyway. Mm-hmm. So yes, I have been doing that. I usually throw away expired shit though, but during this time I'm like, vamos a
yo.
You can take that right off. It's still good. Look at this. It's still good.
Yo.
Okay.
All right. Never have I ever, since Corona, gone a whole week without a shower. I've hit days. I've hit a couple days, but not a week.
I've
hit like 2 or 3 days where I'm like, I don't think I showered in a while.
I smelled myself. I'm like, whoa.
I'm sitting there like, what is this?
It's time for una bañanita.
Yo, I can't. I'm so ridiculous though.
You're doing it every day?
Maybe twice.
Oh, that's
good.
Every
day?
Perfect. I love you. You're my hero.
Girl, I've done a couple days.
But that's just me on the everyday thing. Like, even if, whatever. I actually feel like I got Corona at the beginning of this year. Mm-hmm. I had it. I feel like I did. I know that people are like, what are you talking about? It just came out. No, this shit been around since November. The first case was in the beginning of January in America that they know of. And in that time, I did not take a shower for 4 days. Mm-hmm. I could not even get up out of my bed. I lost 6 pounds in 8 days.
Yeah, you probably had it.
Yeah, I was dead.
I went to Mardi Gras and I was sick for a week. And I didn't think that I had Corona, but then there was an article that came out and said that New Orleans is going to have high infection rate per capita because of Mardi Gras. So I'm like,
of course, because everybody was out there and traveling from there. Well, once I saw the symptoms of everything that's going on, I was like, oh shit, I got this. I had it. I couldn't, I remember one day it felt like I woke up in the middle of the night and it felt like someone grabbed like a bucket and just threw a bunch of water on me. Because I woke up and I was drenched. And I was like, I was so weak that I woke up, looked at myself, felt it, took off my shirt, and went right back to sleep in the puddle of water. That's how weak I was. This had to be that.
Did he carry you?
Nobody. I was by myself.
With Corona, you can't really get anybody.
I was by myself. Actually, my manager sent me soup. I hardly ate it. I couldn't, I didn't have the taste buds for it. My ex-boyfriend came and brought me food. He was like, are you okay? I was like, I think so. I'm going to try to be all right. I was sleeping every day. I didn't eat. I lost weight. I was drenched every night. I was cold every day. Like, it literally was what they're explaining. So I'm like, I got that shit. I didn't shower during that time, though. But I showered.
That you're good.
But that was 4 days. You didn't hit a week. So
I didn't hit a week. 4 days. 4 days.
Wow. Okay. Never have I ever been hungry, but went back to sleep because I had to cook it.
Have I done that? Nah, I'm fat. I go get up.
Okay, man. I'll be like, man, I got this, that shit. I have to like make it from scratch. I can't just heat it up. All right, I'm gonna just go back to bed.
I'll grab something, anything. I have stuff just made, like little chips and shit. But no, I haven't. I'll get up. I'm fat.
I'll just have my stomach eat my back for a little bit, and then.
But that's why you skinny, girl. I'm gonna take a page out of your book.
Oh man,
I'm with Julissa. I get up. I'm like, I'm gonna go get a snack. You out there? Forget that. I'll just do crunchy.
Go-getters. You guys are my heroes, man. You both actually cook some food. You guys are my fucking heroes, man.
All right, last question before we get out of here. Let's say, because everybody's always thinking this is going to lead to zombie apocalypse. If it was hypothetical, which Gentefied character would you choose to be part of your crew to join you in the apocalypse?
Easy. Eric, JJ Soraya.
Okay. Reason why?
Because he's a gangster. You need a gangster with you, like at all times. Like I know I'm with the shits. I'm ready to do everything. Like I always say, I know the shit ain't real. I know it will never come to that, but I know I will survive. I don't know if I'll survive the whole fucking apocalypse, but I know I will survive a great portion of it because I'm from the hood. I'm a hood bitch, right? I used to fight. I was used to fighting. I used to fight a lot. I was always with the shits, so I'm ready for that. And I need somebody that's ready to trigger happy. That's ready to like. I know. He knows how to do that. I even told him it was so funny. Like when I was coming back and I was in Miami, I was like, JJ, he only lives maybe 8 minutes away from me. And I was like, if anything pops off, I'm leaving, but I'm going straight to your house. And he was like, you could come straight. Like, I'll be here. I live like first person on my list, no hesitation is him.
See, I would have chose Eric because if you find the expired food, he's gonna be able to cook it up. Like, listen, I need you.
What electricity?
But no, zombie apocalypse is still electricity and stuff.
Is it?
Some parts, not all the parts.
Okay, well I guess so. But I don't know if he gonna. What happen when the zombies come? What you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
That's true. You know what? I think I might be switching my answer over to JJ now.
What about you?
I would pick JJ too. For me and JJ, like, and speaking to him, I'm like, you a real one.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm gonna need somebody to be ready. Like, let's go.
I could do the assistant work. Like, I could be like, all right, I'm gonna make sure everything else is clean. You know, like I'll clean the boxes, I'll do whatever. I'll like whatever.
I'll load the gun. Like, show me. I can help you. Show me.
I entertain the zombies away. I could entertain the zombies away, give them a couple jokes and shit. Be like, you know, kind of.
Get the ammunition ready. I'm gonna go teach you how to TikTok real quick. Well, thank you so much, Julissa, for jumping on with us. Where can people find you?
Thank you for having me, you guys. That's funny as hell. You guys are dumb. I'll think at La Julissa on Instagram, _Julissa, even though I'm gonna try to get that change on Twitter too. Like we need to all I need to be synchronized on everything. But yeah, La Julissa on shit, you know. Yeah. And watch Gentefied. If you're watching this and you haven't seen Gentefied,
you have to.
And even if you have watched it, watch it again. It's good. You're gonna catch things that you didn't catch in the first go round.
And like I keep telling about, we got to support. Even if you watch it multiple times, just put it on in the background. Count those views. We need
there we go.
Support. Yeah,
we need it.
Okay. Yeah, stop watching Friends. You know what happens. Put Gentefied on. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much.
Of course. At any time.
All right, take care, guys.
All right, bye.